Hello and welcome to a 50-cent tour of Monday, June 24th, 2013. Hope you had a great weekend. Please find a seat on the Liberty Bus and our tour will commence. First site to look at this morning, IRS sent 46 million and change in refunds to 23,994 unauthorized aliens at one Atlanta address. There's a lot going on now about the immigration bill and the naturalization process. There always is, right? It's such a huge issue. And Alex Jones had an interesting point of view that he offered this morning, and that is the fact that these people are pawns and they're easy to manipulate because they're not tracked. There's no record of them. So the government, the bad, evil cabal can use them to launder money. They can use them in many ways to, obviously they want the cheap labor to drive down labor costs and bankrupt Americans and, cause Americans to not be able to find work. But at the same time, they're actually doing some, off-ledger things with illegal aliens. And if you are, you have compassion for Mexicans, for illegal immigrants, you want them to be naturalized, you want them to be able to find a safe and free home. That's cool. And that's how the government is framing this. But that's not the reality of it. And I want to touch on this film, Branded. We watched it over the weekend. I'm astonished to see this, really. I'm surprised by that because it is an amazing film. And I really believe that it has potential to just be an almost overnight cult classic once people become aware of it. But the reason I bring it up, it's just a tremendous film on many levels. First of all, it's very entertaining, very fun to watch, keeps you intrigued, holds your attention till the very end. And those are some things that I really value in films. But one thing that it illustrates many truths, but one thing that it illustrates in a very interesting manner is the concept of Loosh. Now, this is not, in Branded, it's not specifically Loosh. It's more, actually maybe it's more specific than Loosh. It might be like, you might call it greed or lust, that it shows a picture of how this stuff functions. But it actually visually shows how negative emotions feed entities. And that's really just a side aspect of the film. But it made it so clear that I wanted to address this film in that way, and I also want to just bring up the topic of Loosh. And typically I don't post these, and I'm not posting them so that you read it and believe it. It could it be true? It could be true. As Alex Jones said when a caller brought this up today, yeah, they've been doing this for years. But, we always get these dates attached to these things. It's going to happen now. And I so strongly believe that whenever we hear or read these kinds of articles, these are crafted to instill fear in us, to get us to generate Loosh, particularly probably at moments when it's important for us to be releasing faith, hope, love, joy, peace, patience, and all the fruits of the Spirit, all the good, the holy emotions, the emotions that serve to facilitate the bringing about of God's highest purposes. So when we hear these, and it's once a week or once every 2 weeks, you'll see an article somewhere about, oh, there's going to be an earthquake and all the people in the know have left the West Coast or whatever. I fully believe that most of the time, those articles are crafted to instill fear, to keep us off balance, and to cause our focus to be on the wrong things, on the wrong balls, so that we drop the important balls that need to be kept up in the air, the stories that are coming out, the truth that's coming out, instead of, being fearful, focusing on the wrong things. That's my opinion for what it's worth. And last week I had part 1 of this on the tour, and part 2 of 2, Kubrick's Payoff for moon landing production, was Eyes Wide Shut. This article is about how Stanley Kubrick wanted to send a message with Eyes Wide Shut, and of course the message that one sees when one watches the film is the lifestyle of the elite and some of the nasty rituals that they do and some of their bad habits, I guess you could say. It's a scary film. But this proposes that what Kubrick really had in mind with Eyes Wide Shut was to let people know that they are seeing without seeing. In other words, a facade is built for us, and even though we're looking very hard, what we see is the facade, and that we need to look beyond the facade, and that it's necessary to find the hidden truth. And a big part of this is the press. I mean, obviously, that they're the ones who build the facade. They're the ones who give us something false to look at while the real thing is going on behind the scenes. And there's a big struggle right now about truth in the press. War on journalism. Establishment media accuses Greenwald of treason for reporting on Snowden. Now, this is just, it's worth clicking on this and watching the video. It's astonishing to me. I mean, this is reporting, and we've lost that. And of course, the Rolling Stones reporter was killed, and there's just a tremendous, tremendous threat right now to journalists. Why is that? Because there are a lot of important stories breaking. A lot of these things can't be hidden in some side corner anymore. People want to know. They're beginning to realize they've been lied to. And I have a friend who always, well, this has gone on for years. This is, nothing new. Why get so upset about it now? Well, why get so upset about it now? Because what we have, our investment is beginning to show a return, and it's not a good return. We're beginning to reap what we have sown as far as turning a blind eye to the corruption in our government. And it's time to not have a blind eye anymore. And I think that people are wanting to know. Their eyes have been wide open. They thought they had their eyes open. And now they're beginning to catch these little glimpses of things in their peripheral vision. And they want to be able to know what is really going on. And they want to require accountability from their government. And better late than never, I say. And I just want to touch on this movie. Happy, but this is a great film, and I might have mentioned it before. But I'm bringing it up today in light of something that a friend told us who has been traveling in Eastern Europe. Our friend commented on how people there go outside, walk around, go to cafes, live real life. They're not glued to TVs and to, gaming consoles. And Americans have been set up in a way. I mean, we're reaping what we've sown. We've made these decisions ourselves, but there is this funnel that's crafted to draw us down into a lower plane of existence where we are less conscious, less aware, less connected to the earth and one another and real life. And this movie can kind of help us be reminded how to live. And unauthorized genetically modified flax found to have been exported to more than 30 countries around the world. When I've read the list of genetically modified foods, I do not recall seeing flax on the list. And of course, flax is flaxseed oil is used extensively in natural health products. So I offer this as a caution to, when you're at the health food store, ask the people there where does this flax come from? Is it genetically modified? Usually they know, and if they don't know, find a different health food store. Over the weekend, we became aware of this. It's actually an app for iPhone, SkyDural.com, and it's an app that allows you to automatically report, well, not completely automatically, allows you to take photographs and notify the appropriate authorities for your area when you see chemtrails. And it's an interesting way. I mean, they say that we can save the world this way. I don't know about that, but it's something practical that we can all do, something that we can participate in. I think the app costs like $2, and I'm not selling it, no. New wave of business opportunities involving medicinal, nutritional marijuana sweep Colorado. And here it is. I've mentioned that if marijuana is legalized, especially hemp, industrial hemp, it will open the door for so many earth-based, real people-based activity that can have potential to generate income. And so hopefully we can continue to move forward. The Daily Tour is a presentation of She Who Will Walk in the Dark Productions, and I'm back to Firefox for the tour. I was using Safari for a while because Firefox was getting hung up, and then Safari started getting hung up too. And there's this great little app that works with Firefox that is called, I think it's called Self-Destructing Cookies. It's free, and it's plug-in for Firefox, and Firefox functions a lot better. Pages load a lot faster, so I'm digging on that. And thank you for participating in today's tour. The dawn is coming, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Hoping that you will love one another, take care, and insist on liberty.